Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Finance Bunch Presents Girl Talk. I'm your host, Charline, and today we have in the studio with us Rocky Rugg. Rocky is a visual artist and also a clothing designer. She's an entrepreneur who has taken all the steps to come to success. She's going to share that information with us today, so come along for the ride. It is so good to see you again.
It's so good to see you too.
You know, it's been a while. I've been watching you on Instagram, and you've got a lot going on.
Yeah, almost too much at times.
Yeah, but it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. So now, how long have you been in Los Angeles?
I've been here for a while, actually. I've been here for 9 years.
9 years now.
Yeah. I
Wow.
came straight from Sweden and straight to LA. Yeah.
And you loved it here, so you stayed.
Yeah, exactly. I initially came for school, and then once I graduated, I just kind of saw the opportunities for me being, a painter and designer, and so I wanted to stay.
So you wanted to stay, yeah. So now, how did you turn your artistic passion into a career? How were you able to do that? Because a lot of people have this, artistic talent, but you actually turned yours into a career that you can make money from.
Yeah.
So how did you transition? How did you do that?
I think it's definitely been a challenge. I will say that. But I think for me, I've always believed in myself, like 120%.
Definitely.
I don't even know why. It's just always been there since I was a kid. I always knew that if I was gonna work with something, it was gonna have to do with something when it related to like art or fashion or both.
Or both.
So I did have a friend of mine that when I was designing and painting, just for because it's my passion, just for fun, he was pushing me to do it. He's like, "Why are you not selling your art? Why are you not selling your pieces?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just doing this for fun." I didn't really believe that. I believed I could do something with it, but I didn't really. I don't know. I think I in the beginning didn't really believe that I could just go with selling like art pieces and designing clothes. I thought I had to like find a different way, like doing computer animation, because that's what I went to school for. So he's the one that opened up my eyes for it, because he's a fashion designer.
Okay.
And once I started doing that, I just started networking a lot. I think that's definitely the biggest part, networking with like, especially for the fashion part.
Yes.
I network with stylists and then other designers. I looked for mentors and people that just learning things that I didn't know within all of that, because I didn't go to school for either design or art. I went to school for computer animation.
Wow.
So I think for me, it was just definitely you just gotta network and talk a lot, to people. Like have somebody
share
that
your
can
vision,
right?
right?
Yeah, people that share your vision, people that are above you, because people that can teach you things about the business and how to go about it. And I don't know. I think it's just mainly just networking a lot, because at the end of the day, you can be very good at something, but if you don't know the right people, it's going to be a little bit difficult to make it happen.
That's very true.
But it's been it's been ups and downs, and it's definitely been a struggle too.
Yeah.
And it's finally moving forward
in the direction you wanted to go.
Yeah,
right now.
exactly. Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of just believing yourself and just working your ass off.
Yeah, I agree with both parts.
Yeah.
Now, how do you get inspiration for your pieces, and then what makes you act on that inspiration?
There's a lot of different things that inspire me. I do, even just like being on Instagram, I do follow like fashion pages, art pages, just to get the creative flow going in my head, because sometimes I can definitely get that. How do you say it? Like, it can be blocked at times.
I can't even imagine that with you, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, it can definitely be blocked at times. I think when it comes to art, it's weird, because I have a lot of like weird dreams.
Really?
Yeah, and I always wake up like, what was that? It's so weird, but I feel like a lot of my art pieces stems from that. But then I'm also, I don't know, I think it's just being around. I love architecture, I love nature, so I think anything that just has like an artistic aspect to it just inspires me. And then I just kind of put things together, and then I just have my own little weird images in my head where I'm like, oh, oh yeah, like it's just ideas that pops up, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
That's cool though. That's really cool. And then, how different is painting for designing versus designing clothing?
Um,
Is there a difference
like,
for you? Like, like I've noticed that I was watching you on Instagram and I was like, what is she doing? And you were literally painting on a wall. And it didn't look like you drew it out. It looked like
Yeah.
you just literally just started painting on this wall.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you knew, the whole wall was this beautiful like plant design.
yeah.
And so I saw that, but how do you do that like with clothing? Like, do you get an idea in your head and then you draw it, or
Yeah,
how does
I
it
usually get an
differentiate?
idea in my head. I'm not really much. I'm a little unusual when it comes to designing because I do not like patterns. So a lot of times I already know how a piece of clothing is structured. So I just start cutting it out like without a pattern or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah. I think I think that's also has to do with me being impatient. It's also, and I mean, at times it's necessary to do patterns when you do like a big production or things like that.
Yeah,
But I do a lot of custom designs, so for me, I just enjoy just like cutting it out. And I think with that, it's just, I mean, with designing, it's just random ideas, or like I said, it like inspired from other pieces or things like that that I just put together, and then I get this vision in my head, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do, and then I do it. And with art, I think it's almost already a picture that just like pops up in my head. So it's not, I think the most of the times when I'm painting, it's mostly random images that I get in my head that I just want to paint down. And then with the designing, I more so have to be a little bit inspired and pushed, just to make sure that it's something new and different. And
Yeah, because you do really well. And your bathing suit line, I was talking to you about that a little bit before camera, and Lemon Drop.
Yeah.
Your bathing suits are beautiful.
Thank you.
How long did it take you from concept to production to put that together?
So I have a business partner. Her name is Nicole. So me and her, we met last year. I think it was around October that we started building on the Lemon Drop brand.
Okay.
And it wasn't until probably around February that we started putting it in production, like creating the samples, obviously the patterns and the samples, and then we got into production around April or June. My memory can be a little bad, but yeah, I think it was around that time. So it was definitely a long process, and it could even take longer for some companies. But yeah, it was a long process, but we were working like constantly, like every day on it.
Yeah.
Because we're very excited about it. So yeah, I think it's about like 6 months of like preparing for it.
And then
we
rolling
launched
out.
in June, July. Yeah.
Beautiful bathing suits. What made you pick the name Lemon Drop?
It was actually my partner that already had that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because so I already had a swimwear line and she had a swimwear line.
Okay.
And we came together. So she had worked with she had another partner prior to this, and it didn't work out, and so she kept the name. And then me, I had worked on my own by myself on my swimwear line. So once we got together, she, wanted to continue with the Lemon Drop name, and I had no issue with that. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Right, let's
Sounds
good. I don't have to come up with a name. That's fine. Lemon Drop sounds
Yeah,
good.
I was like, yeah, that's good. It's cute. It works. So yeah. So.
And then you guys did a lot of location shots and all of that.
Yeah. We went to Hawaii. We went to just like Laguna Beach and things like that. We were just really trying to get a lot of content.
Now you also have your clothing line, and that's a custom design line. How do you pronounce the name of it? Because I don't want to mess it up.
Ylva.
Ylva.
Yeah, Ylva.
Okay, and that's a part of your name because I know that you go by Rocky Rug, but I wasn't going to even attempt to say your name and mess it up. So say your name for us because you say it so beautifully.
It's Rugieto.
Okay.
Rugieto Ylva Jallow.
Wow.
Yeah, but in Sweden, like, because I obviously came from Sweden here.
Right.
All my friends and family call me Rugi. But I noticed that was very difficult for Americans to like roll the R's. So
yes.
For some reason, it's easier to say Rocky. So that's why I go by Rocky.
Okay.
But yeah, Ylva is the name for my design, and it means she-wolf.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
The
an ancient
designs are
Swedish name.
beautiful.
Mm.
And then are they all custom?
Yeah, these are all customs. I mean, the
Okay.
ones that I've created. I've been a little bit back and forth with it, but I think at the end of the day, I do prefer doing custom clothes, but I am actually going to have like a line out.
Okay.
Yeah, eventually, but I've just been a little bit back and forth because I do prefer doing custom designs. It's more fun for me, but I do want to have like a full-on line.
Right.
So,
The thing that I like about your line is that the pieces can be customized for winter or summer because the dresses are so pretty and they form fitting, so you can put a coat over it and go to a club and be the hit of the ball, right?
Yeah.
And then in the summertime it makes sense because it's so hot, and to have a piece that is that pretty and it's sheer and it looks comfortable. So I love those designs.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm visually entertained, and so I love going to your pages because it just fills my cup.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Yes. Now, you're pretty much a phenomenon on Instagram. Like, I love watching you because you always look like you're having so much fun. And even when you're working, you look like you're totally enjoying and passionate about everything you do, right? And so for someone who may not be as visible on Instagram, what are some tips you can give them?
Yeah, there's like a lot of aspects to it, but I think definitely showing, that you're enjoying yourself, what it is that you do, your craft. And I think, to be honest, I feel like you do have to go on other people's pages too and like and comment.
Yes.
And I always make sure that I always comment back on other people's comments because I know a lot of people skip on that. But I think that's very important to make sure that I let people know that I've seen their comments, that I appreciate it, which I do. Oh my God, I get so happy when people, leave me some nice, polite comments about my art or my designs or even just about me. So I think it's really important to just interact with your followers. And then, just putting out content that you enjoy and don't think too much about what you feel like people would like. It's more so about what you enjoy in putting out. And I think that's what's going to have people more so come to your page, seeing that you enjoy what you're doing, that you're passionate about what you're doing.
I agree. Yeah, because you do have a great page. And, your page is like, for me, it's visually entertaining, but it's also like a party. So if I'm like trying to, get uplifted, I know I can go to your page and find something, and then there you are dancing. Or...
Oh yeah, I love dancing. I literally live for dancing. I feel like it's just like straight up happiness, and that's why I like showing, the goofy side of me because I think people sometimes take me too serious, and I want people to know that I'm very chill and goofy and I love to have fun. I just love to dance and make a fool out of myself.
No, it's entertaining, but not from that perspective. It's when people are down, they can go to your page and become inspired and get uplifted because you are dancing. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I do this occasional post just to, show that there's a fun part behind me.
Heck yeah. Now, I saw on your Instagram page, I was looking through, and I saw there was a post that you made, and it said, breathing dreams like air. What does that mean to you? Because I was like, wow.
I think for me, it's just about basically living your dreams, just like how you just breathing air like it's nothing. That's how I feel about your dreams, like making your dreams come true. It's just like having that belief in yourself and just living that life of like, I'm following my dreams, I'm doing everything to make it happen. And it's literally just like living your dream basically, just like, and not just taking it lightly, like not taking it way too seriously. So just like air.
Now, I also noticed, and I watch you on Instagram, but you painted this room recently with clouds and baby angels. Yeah. Where did that concept come from? Because just all of a sudden there you were painting, and I was like, what is she doing now?
Yeah.
And then you're like, clouds and
Yeah,
Interesting.
no, it was actually a commission painting.
Okay.
And I had talked to the client about it prior to this, and he wanted like he had different ideas, like wood, like a forest, or all types of different things. But we decided on doing clouds, and then we were just going back and forth with ideas. And then we came up with the cloud ideas, and then he loves angels, so we decided to do angels. And then we got to the point of like making them in a different race, so white, black, and like light skin or mixed. And so that's why I just started, and then I obviously posted it. But it was so much fun. Very time consuming though. Just doing the clouds. Oh my god! When you want to make it like realistic clouds, it's very time consuming. But it was really fun, and I love putting up like my art content up there.
Wow, because I mean to paint a whole room and then have it consistent. Because I was checking, and it was consistent, and those clouds look real.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It was very time consuming, but I still enjoyed it, and the end result too. It was kind of rushed, especially with the angels, but I still felt like it came out pretty good, so I did enjoy it. Yeah,
it's beautiful. So, do you do a lot of commissioned work, or do you just pick and choose the pieces that?
No, I am. I actually became a full-time entrepreneur like a couple months ago. So when I decided to do that, I obviously had to take on more commission work. Before that, I didn't really do that. I literally I would just sell the paintings that I had. Like I would paint whatever I wanted to paint and then sell that.
Right.
But now that I'm a full-time entrepreneur, I do occasionally take on commission work, and I do love doing murals. I think that to me is so much fun, just painting on a big wall.
Right.
And I prefer at least having some creativity into, like, how do you say it? I prefer like when they give me my own creative space, like they allow me to have my own creativity in there, and not just like, oh, do this and this is like, I don't want anything else. Like, I like it when I can have like an input.
I think it's better when you're working with someone that's creative and you have maybe a concept in your mind of kind of what you want, but you talk it out with them, because usually visually it will always come out better if you just let the person just use their creativity and it just flows.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that. Plus it's more fun too when I can, do my thing as well. So
Right. Yeah. Well, congratulations on becoming a full-time entrepreneur. And it does lead to being up till 6 o'clock in the morning. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm up.
So now, how did your collaboration with Lance Gross come about? Because I saw that, and you got all these images, and how did that come about?
We've actually been friends for years, and he saw I had randomly done, because it's a computer illustration work that I've done on his photography, and he had seen me post a picture where I had done that on a random image that I found online of Cara Delevingne, the model.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I did that one first, and then once he saw it, he was like, oh my god, I would love to, like, for you to do this on my photos. And I was like, oh yeah, great, because I love his photography.
Right.
And then we just went from there. He just sent me all the photos that that I could choose from. I picked the photos I liked the most, and I just went from there. And he actually just reached out recently to do it again, because that was a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah,
because I saw the post recently.
No, I just started posting them again, because I haven't really posted them.
Okay.
And I feel like it was a couple years ago that I did that. But he just, when I started posting them, he reached out again, and I was like, I'm ready for a new collab. So I was like, yeah, of course, I'm down. Yeah, I love working with him. He was really cool, super nice guy, very professional. It's just, so I'm excited to work with him again.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So you started reposting the pictures that you did years ago, which triggered him to say, let's work together again.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lesson in that. So you've worked with people in the past, you've collaborated with people in the past. So for my audience, just because you've worked with someone one time doesn't mean you won't get that opportunity again.
Yeah.
And if you keep the connection and you also work professionally, coming on time, doing what they ask you to do, and if you're creative, if they allow you to, put your own emphasis on things. But the point is to stay in contact with those people, because you never know, the collaboration might come up again. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, and actually, like, once I started posting them again, I got some commission work just like
because of
similar pieces. Yeah.
Wow.
So it definitely doesn't hurt to post old work.
Yeah, that's so cool. Now, tell me about the blue woman, because you paint blue women, and I saw one that you posted recently. So tell me, are those from your mind?
Yeah,
Those beautiful blue ladies.
Yeah, it's definitely my signature paintings. I love painting blue women, and I'm actually going to create a new series as well of some new blue women.
That's cool.
It's going to be a different type, but it's still going to be blue women. And I think for me, I started doing them because when I think of blue, I think of like freedom.
Yes.
And I also don't like putting a color to the skin when I paint somebody. So I think that's how I came into the whole blue, and just not having a race behind it. Just, it doesn't matter if you're black or white or whatever. It's just like a blue woman. And I think that's why I know that's why I got into it. But I'm also very much, fantasy nerd, and, I love fantasy sci-fi books and things like that, or movies. So some inspiration did come from Avatar. So yeah, I think that's why I paint blue women.
I love it because they all have their own personality, right?
Yeah,
and they all like represent something different.
Yeah, it actually started off as like a self-portrait. So the first series of blue women that I did, they were actually self-portraits, not literal, just more so metaphorical.
Right.
A little slow in the head right now, but yeah. So it started off from that, and yeah, I just got going.
And kept going. Wow. Now, social media, I want to go back to social media just for a minute. When you talk about interacting on social media, I noticed that you get, a lot of following, and, you appear to be, and you are, a very engaging person. And, what do you do about people who may jump into your Instagram and say things that you may not be happy with, or they may say something that you find offensive? How do you handle those people?
It hasn't happened a lot, but when it has happened, I'm so far away from a person that takes offense easily. So I'm usually just like, oh yeah, no, sorry. If I'm streaming, for example, live, I'll just be like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be like this, you have to get off.
Right.
I'm just like, sorry.
Goodbye.
Or I will block you if you continue. Like I'm like polite about it.
Right.
And then if it is, somebody, crazy. I did have a crazy person that got on my Instagram at one point. And I just blocked them, and they kept creating fake accounts, and I was like, oh my God. And I'll just, block. But most of the times I'm very easygoing, and I'll just I think it's best to just give positive energy towards negative energy.
Yeah.
So even if somebody's giving you negative energy, I try to always just give positive energy and just wish them the best and send blessings, and I think that's the best way to go about it.
Absolutely.
So.
And you do have this level of confidence in yourself, and just watching the types of inspiration that you post, where does all of that come from? Because you said earlier, like, I've known since I was a child, where does that come from? Is it from your parents, the way you were raised, or just you internally just always had a confident spirit about you?
Yeah, it's crazy because I don't really think I've ever really thought about it. But I do know that it does stem a little bit from my mom. She's always been, when it came to my artistic side, she was always like, oh, you're going to be a tattoo artist, or you're going to be an illustrator, or you're going to be, a writer. Like every time I would do something, she would always be like, yeah, you're going to be this and that, and like, you're going to be this big person. I'm like, oh, yeah, I am. Like, so I didn't even think about it, but now that I do think about it, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely where it comes from. And I think maybe that's why I've always had this belief in myself.
Right.
And it just, even when I've had my downfalls where I'm like, oh my God, like things are not going well, I've still been like, oh, but it will go, like it's gonna go well. Like I know I'm gonna do well in life. Like I don't know why, it's always been like that. And I think that's what it stems from, just my mom always believing in my craft. And then I've also worked on myself as well, because I mean, just like anybody else, you're gonna have insecurities about whatever it is that you do or about yourself. Right. And I think one important aspect is to really work on yourself and always self-reflect and things like that. So I've definitely done that for a couple of years, which has helped me just becoming a more confident person.
Right.
So yeah.
So when it comes to fear, do you even entertain it?
I don't. I actually try to challenge myself, like, towards anything that I'm scared of. When it comes to like fear of failure, that's not in my head. I'm like, That for sure not. When it comes to like other types of fear, like I'm scared of heights, deep dark water, and like spiders. So I've done everything to push myself to get out of it. Like I went skydiving.
Oh wow.
Yeah, went scuba diving. And then the next thing is I have to hold a tarantula in my hand. Yeah. So I just really try to push myself because I don't want to be scared of anything.
Right.
And I feel like it actually helped. Like after I went skydiving, it helped a lot because I was able to go cliff jumping. I never would have been able to do that.
Wow.
Like before that, I was terrified. Like even just being like, if I would stand up here, I'd be like, oh my God, it's so high, you know. But now I'm able to like cliff jump. So I was like, okay, it does actually help. Like seeing the results. And then with the scuba diving, I mean, it took me like 10 minutes before I could actually go down because I was like hyperventilating. But once you like tell yourself like this is all in my head, like there's no reason to be scared, like no reason at all. And I feel like that comes down to you also when it comes to your work or whatever it is that you're doing. Like it's all in your head.
You gotta push past
it.
You
gotta push past it. Like it's just your brain telling you no, like you can't do this, but no, you can.
I like that. I like that philosophy a lot. Now you have a tattoo. That's very interesting. It seems to go your entire body. What does it say?
It's the poem by Maya Angelou, I Rise. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite poems by her. I watched a documentary when I was like, how old was I? 13 or something, and I was so inspired by everything she had to say.
Wow.
Her poetry, it really affected me. I mean, I started like bawling watching her documentary. And after that, I didn't do this until it was, how old was I? Maybe 24. Okay. That's when I did it. And it's one of my favorite poems, and it's about being the ancestor of slaves and rising from that history. And yeah, I just wanted it on my body. So.
Wow. And I always wondered, like, what does that tattoo say?
Yeah. I'll have people behind me if I'm wearing, like, you know, maybe like this dress. Because it goes, like, you know, like
yes,
this.
It wraps around.
Yeah, so I'll have people behind me if I'm wearing, like, a top or something, like, you know, they start reading out loud. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, you won't be able to read it. It goes all the way down there.
You won't see the entire tattoo, right?
Yeah, because I'll be like, oh, can I see it? I'm like, you won't be able to. Like,
it's like, no, it covers my body.
Yeah.
That's great. How long did that take? Cause
it took like 2.5 hours.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He had to go quick because I was screaming. I'm not good with pain. So
oh, yeah, no, neither am I.
Yeah, it's crazy that I even went through it. But yeah, I was crying and screaming.
Wow.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Now, you have an identical twin.
This is so funny. People always think she's identical. We're fraternal.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You look so much alike.
I know. People always say that. And I'm like, really? Because we both don't think we look that alike.
That's funny.
But one thing I notice is that when people meet us, like, together, that's when they can tell the difference.
Okay.
But when they don't meet us, when they see us separate, like, at separate occasions,
yes.
That's when they're like, oh, my God, you guys are identical. And we're like, no, we're not.
So when you're standing together, then you can see the differences, but apart.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, does personality-wise?
We're actually very similar. There's a few things that are different, but we're definitely very similar. And I mean, she's my best friend. Oh my God, she's my best friend. We have the exact same humor.
Wow.
If anybody can make me cry laughing, it's her. So yeah, she's my best friend. So I was definitely sad when she moved back to Sweden. But she's actually coming to visit in a few months. It's our birthday coming up.
That's cool.
But yeah, we are very, very much similar when it comes to everything. Humor, the drive. Although we do different things, she does project management. She's a manager for IT company in Sweden, actually. So she's more of like the business part of the whole, you know, working or whatever. But she is artistic as well. Like she can paint. She just doesn't do it. Yeah. Oh my God. She can just like do a little port. I think she would be better than me if she would actually
paint.
Yeah. She just doesn't do it.
Wow. And I think the other thing that helps with you both looking alike, of course you have the same features, but also since her hair is dark and yours is light, the contrast, you know, I guess is distracting. Yeah. So you don't realize that you guys don't look identical. But I swore she was your identical twin.
Yeah. People always think that. I think it's so funny. I'm like, nope. Definitely not fraternal. Yeah.
Now is she gonna stay in Sweden? Or
Yeah, no, she's staying. Yeah.
wow.
She literally moved there last December, and yeah, she loves it. You know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what did you like about living in Sweden versus here?
Oh wow, that's a big question because it's completely different.
Okay.
I think for me, the main reason why I wanted to stay here was mainly for the opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different when it comes to the creative aspect in Sweden.
Okay.
It's big, but it's not as like I feel like out here it's easier to make things happen for yourself.
Okay.
When you're in the entertainment industry, which
Right.
I consider fashion and art.
Yes.
And then the weather. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
You cannot
the weather.
compare it.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Sweden, it's like cold 75% of the year, and I do not like the cold.
Oh my
so,
gosh.
ooh,
That's why I left New York. 'Cause
Yeah.
that cold just chased me out. I was like, as soon as I'm old enough legally to leave, I'm getting out of here.
That was me too. I was like, I'm out. I
gotta
cannot
go.
do this. This is depressing.
Right.
But other than that, Sweden is a pretty great country. Free healthcare, free dental.
Right.
You actually get money to go to school until you start university. Then you don't get money anymore. But it's still for free. University is
Wow.
free. I think people are very open-minded there. It's a very liberal country.
Mm-hmm.
People are very open to different races and ethnicities. Although we've had some issues lately because of some terrible things happening. It's a long story, but growing up for me, that was a pretty amazing place to grow up in. I didn't look in race or color, ethnicity, or
Wow.
if you had money or not. But you can't really be poor in Sweden, I feel like. But yeah, it's very different. If it wasn't for the weather, I would say I would more so live in Sweden. But yeah, I can't.
The
do
weather is
weather.
just no.
Oof,
That's a lot.
it's too cold.
Yeah,
I can't
like
do
cold
it.
weather.
Yeah.
When you go and visit the snow, like once in a while,
Yeah,
it's
that's fine,
okay.
yeah.
But to live in it and have to,
Yeah, no. Oof,
I'm the
fuck.
same way.
Just thinking about it, I'm like, oh gosh, no. I can't do it.
No. Now I remember when the last time I interviewed you, we were talking about the difference in the school structure too, because I remember you saying that you were given financial literacy classes in Sweden, like that's a part of the curriculum, and here it's not.
Yeah.
So in your business and in your pursuit to become a full-time entrepreneur, did that help a lot with your being able to maybe balance your budget better or understanding how money works?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I actually did take business in school in Sweden because the last 3 years of high school is basically like college.
Oh, wow.
So you pick your own major, and I picked business, and I think, a lot of my friends and people that I know pick business because it's the easiest to pick because you don't really know what else to pick as a major because
Yes.
it's so early. And I feel like that's a good way to just, it's a good, how do you say?
Place to, it's like a foundation.
Good foundation.
Because no
that's the
matter
word I'm
what,
looking for. Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You need
so I did learn all about, accounting and all that stuff and how to budget and things like that. But even in general in school, they do have a very good education system when it comes to things like that, taking care of your money, and then, I don't think that's another thing I haven't really thought about. But yeah, it's definitely a good structure when it comes to just taking care of your own economy,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's really good. So what do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years?
It's so funny because I usually don't really like to say or like to state that out there. I feel like it's almost like jinxing it.
Okay.
But I will say I will for sure have my, I will still have my fashion line, but it will be way bigger, obviously.
Yes, it will.
Hopefully married with kids.
That would be good, right?
But then
A couple of sets of twins.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully twins. Living in my big house, aka
Right.
mansion. And then with my art, I definitely want to have, I will have my own gallery.
Oh, that's going to be great. I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, oh my
I'm
God.
going to hold
me
you
too.
to it.
Yes, oh, for sure. And I'll be having my, art in other galleries as well. But
Yes.
definitely my own gallery. That is definitely the goal. And yeah, that's definitely where I see myself. I don't want to get too detailed about it.
No, but that's cool. Yeah, because, the details come.
Yeah.
Just like the projecting, and then the details fall
Yeah.
into place.
Yeah.
That is so cool. How do you keep yourself motivated? Like, now you have this plan that you shared with me. How do you keep yourself motivated going towards that plan?
Yeah, it's a difficult question, but I feel like I automatically motivated because of the belief that I have in myself, and because I mean, it's just, you know, just like anybody, there's a certain age that you want to have things done.
Right.
And I think for me, one of my goals has always been financial freedom, and I've always seen myself as, like, you know, with my family traveling around the world, just like painting and having fun, and like,
Yes.
so for me, it's just been, I don't know, I think that's just what like motivates me and consistently like pushes me to just keep working, and I just don't, I don't know, it's just, I feel like I'm always just like motivated automatically, like it's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I had a guest on who said motivation isn't something you can teach.
Yeah.
It's something that can be cultivated, but it's not something that can be taught.
Yeah, no, I think it's, I don't know, I think it's when you really want something, you're automatically motivated
To go after
it.
Yeah.
And I think if you're not that motivated in life if you're half-assing it, you know.
That's very
So,
true.
Yeah.
Now, I know how to keep up with you on social media. How does everyone keep up with you? How do we stay abreast of what you're doing and what you're up to?
I mean, I always post on my own page, Rocky Rug, ROCKYRUG.
Yeah.
I always post my stuff there, and I do have the Instagram links in my bio as well for the designs and the swimwear, and I have a separate art page because
Yes, I saw that.
yeah, I decided to do that because I felt like I was posting a lot about myself too, and I wanted a page where it's just about the art for the people that only want to look at the art.
Yes.
So I did that as well. So yeah, I mean, that's the best way to, you know, just go to my personal page, and then I'm always posting, and
And the links
know.
are definitely there.
Yeah, the
'Cause
links
that's where
are
I
there.
went, and there. Oh my goodness, I saw
Yeah.
the art page, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So she, you know, you separated them, but on your personal page they're together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I put everything on my own page, but then I have separate page for people that just want to look at that and maybe not look at me all the time. I'm like, yeah, it can be a lot. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I just thought that would be a good way to go about it. So yeah.
Wow. So my final question is, what's next?
As to
what are you going to be doing next? Like,
oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
you don't
like
want
I
to
said
say?
before, I don't really want to say too much, but
Okay.
I mean, I am planning to have an art show.
Okay.
Next year is definitely gonna be a lot of me pushing myself with the art and the designing, obviously, but more so with the art because I haven't really done that lately.
Yes.
I decided to really, you know, push myself when it comes to the art next year. Even the beginning of the year, it's going to be a lot of work happening, and yeah, so I don't want to get into details, but
you are
I
gonna
will
have
have
a
an art show. Yeah,
Good.
I will not
Okay.
say exactly when,
Okay.
but I will post that on my page as well.
Yes.
I always post, and it'll be open for everybody to come.
Okay, and I'll post it on my page as well because I know it will be completely worth whoever, their time and energy to get there. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You're amazing.
Yay, you're
I haven't
amazing.
seen you in so long.
I
And
know.
just getting to watch you on social media is like, I'm like, oh my God, all these great things are happening for you. And I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm excited too.
And welcome to the world of being a full-time entrepreneur.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, stressful, but so exciting.
And so worth it, right?
Yeah, it's so worth it. Oh my God, so worth it.
Well, everyone, this has been an amazing interview with Rocky Rug, and we'll see you next time.